I am the Canterbury Catholic, and this is not my normal setup. I don't even know if you guys can hear me or not, but hopefully you can. I'm currently in Houston, Texas for the second annual uh, Ordinariate Musician Formation Weekend. This is a weekend that I guess it's not really a weekend because it's the middle of the week, but this is a period of about 3 days of kind of fellowship, formation, networking, and just general hanging out of the musicians, the music directors, the organists, and other musicians and liturgical musical participants of the personal ordinariate of the Chair of St. Peter. We had our first meeting, our first kind of formation weekend last year in January of 2025. And it was a big enough success that they decided to do another one here in 2026 with a few tweaks. So I went last year to the first one, and obviously I'm here for the second one. So I thought that at the end of the day, it might be nice to just go live, talk about the things that went on during the day, and maybe any thoughts that I might have. These streams will be kind of similar to my very first stream in that there won't be very much in the way of scripting or just kind of staying on topic. It'll just be general thoughts on the day or just anything that might come to mind. Um, so I figured I'd give some just general thoughts on just the musicians' conferences in general, or conferences at all, and how they're kind of unique in the ordinariate, and stuff like that. So typically, when a diocese has ordinary or when a diocese has some type of meeting, it's relatively well attended. Most of the people tend to know each other because a diocese, in the grand scheme of things, is a somewhat smaller region of land. Um, However, with the ordinary, it's a little bit different because our entire diocese encompasses North America, the entire North American continent, and so because of that, it's very rare that an ordinariate community or parish has immediate access or proximity to another ordinariate parish or community. Um, in some cases, the nearest ordinariate parish might be 6 or 7 hours away, and by car. I know in the UK, it's even in Australia rather, it's even bigger, greater of a distance. It can be 12 hours by car, or perhaps 8 hours by planes. And so, because of that, it's important that anytime we can get together, we do get together, and we kind of do so with our shared mission and identity, because it helps us um, build formation, build community with one another, even though we're so far geographically apart. But it also helps us kind of mentally and internally get to a point where we realize that we're all facing the same struggles and we're all fighting the same fight, and working towards the same mission. And so, in that sense, it kind of edifies and unites us, and helps us also do some networking. And that was a really big help and something really nice at last year's musicians conference. And so far, it's been the same. It seems to me. A lot of the people here this year were not here last year, and so it's nice to kind of meet some new faces while at the same time getting to reconnect with some people that I had met previously. And so that's kind of a general overview of how something like this, a gathering of people from within the ordinariate, is a little bit different than what might be more typical in a diocesan, a more typical diocesan kind of communal, I guess, circumstance or experience. Now, I actually arrived a day early to hang out with some friends that I knew in the area and just kind of get settled in my hotel. So today was kind of the official day, but it was still technically a travel day. So there are still some people that haven't arrived yet, who will be arriving tomorrow. But today we had check-in started around 2 o'clock. There was a tour of the shrine. A lot of people don't know this, but on the campus of the cathedral, the cathedral grounds, there are actually a number of buildings other than the cathedral itself. There is the Cathedral of Our Lady of Walsingham. There's the Chancery, which is kind of the administrative building of the diocese. There's also a number of classrooms and for a homeschool co-op, and also for a music conservatory that is run out of the classrooms. There's also a high school, beautiful, beautiful high school called Cathedral High School, that is run and attached obviously by the Cathedral of Our Lady of Walsingham. So there was a tour of the shrine. Oh, and in addition to those things, there was also right smack in the middle a shrine to Our Lady of Walsingham. And so there was a tour of said shrine. I had already seen most of those things just throughout my various travels here in Houston, but it was nice to go and kind of be reacquainted with everything. We then had just kind of a general introduction to just each other and how the weekend was going to go. And then after that, we had something which was different this year, which was really nice. Was at 5 p.m. we had choral evensong performed, or I guess performed, yeah, by the treble choir here at the Cathedral of Our Lady of Walsingham. So there are a number of choirs, some paid, some volunteer, some for adults, some for high schoolers, and some for younger children, and a mix thereof. And so this treble choir is largely younger children, elementary and middle school aged, and they provided the music. And it was absolutely beautiful. It was a textbook kind of clinic of how simplicity in the liturgy and the music can breed such a beautiful and prayerful environment. It was conducted by Miss Shaylon Murray, who's one of the or who is the associate music director here at the Cathedral of Our Lady of Walsingham, and it was just beautiful seeing these at least like 40 children, again aged from elementary to middle school and maybe even early high school, just going through the evening prayer liturgy and singing these beautiful settings of the Psalms, and also of the various portions of the office. So that was fantastic. And just as a musician, it just really edified me, and as a Christian and as a Catholic, obviously, again, it spiritually kind of uplifted me. It was a great way to start. And then after that, we had dinner, followed by a short kind of speech. It wasn't really a speech, but just a general kind of words of welcome from our bishop, His Excellency Bishop Stephen Lopes. We then actually went around the room and kind of introduced ourselves. Our names, where we were from, what role we serve in our parish, and just kind of something fun about ourselves, and in that we kind of got a sense of where everyone was from, and also everyone's musical background, and it spanned from, professional church musician my entire life to I'm a blue collar type of person, but I did choir in high school, and my community is so small and new that I just happen to be the most qualified person in the room, and I'm just learning as I go. Which was just really great because, in a certain sense, we all kind of share in just the very missional aspect of being an ordinariate Catholic. How nothing is handed to us in this kind of expression of Catholic life, and so we're all fighting in a very particular way, and just using our skills and our knowledge to the best that we can to edify our parishes. So that was nice. And then after that, it was just from around 7 to 8. It was just general social time. It was just getting to know each other, shaking hands, saying hi to people that we had met previously. Like I said, there are a number of people that were here last year that are also here this year, and then also meeting new people, and finding that we have a lot of relationality and similarities outside of our functions as ordinariate musicians, which is just always fantastic. And that's pretty much it for today. I mean, again, it's really a travel. It's kind of a half day. It's really just everyone kind of getting here, getting settled, and just tomorrow and the next day kind of begins the actual work, the actual formation process. So I'll be cutting this stream relatively soon, but I thought I would just give you an overview of each day, my personal experiences and other things I observed, just to give you guys a sense of what's going on at the cathedral, what's going on within the diocese, and things that are happening kind of at a higher level, and how they might affect those of you who go to ordinary parishes, and also to those of you who don't go to ordinary parishes but might be interested in seeing kind of what's going on, and how is the diocese, meaning the ordinariate, how is it growing, how is it working towards the mission of spreading not just the message of the gospel, but specifically the message of the gospel within the context of the English patrimony, its uniqueness. Um, so with that, I will say before I end the stream, if you're in the chat, I know we've had a few people in and out just looking at the count. Feel free to drop your name, where you're from, and I don't know how long you've been subscribed. I'd love to get some interaction in the chat with this, or in the comments if you're watching this after the stream. Now, tomorrow, like I said, is a little bit more. I'm looking at the schedule right now. Tomorrow's a little bit more of a filled day. So we have a plenary talk at 8 a.m., followed by choral matins, which I'm very excited for because I've never been to choral matins. I've been to evensong plenty of times, but never to matins. Um, there will then be a rehearsal. So part of this weekend is that we have the option, as the participants in this weekend, to participate in a choral evensong here at the cathedral, to participate in choir. It's something we did last year. I participated in it, and it was a blast. It was just so fun getting to play, or getting to sing rather, some of these classic Anglican compositions or English compositions within the context of our own office, together with people of the same kind of heart and mind and spirit. Um, so there will be a rehearsal for that. Then there will be a breakout session, and these breakout sessions, there's so many of them that you actually get to choose. You won't be able to go to all of them, but you get to kind of pick and choose which ones you go to based off of your interests. So tomorrow, the first sessions will be Anglican chant for beginners, evensong on a shoestring, hymns, psalms, and spiritual canticles, lessons and carols, tenebrae, and other ancillary offices. After that, we'll have Mass, followed by lunch. Then after that, we'll have another breakout session, Anglican chant for experienced folks, memory and the Anglican choral experience. Another opportunity to go to the ancillary offices talk for lessons and carols tenebrae, and then options in the office. So this is more of a liturgical thing, different various ways that you can experience and kind of make the office your own. And then after that, there will be choral evensong with the Walsingham High School Choir, which should be fun, followed by dinner with another plenary talk. And this plenary talk will be given by the former Vicar General of the Ordinariate of the Church of St. Peter, Monsignor Timothy Perkins, which should be fun. And then the day ends with some more social time, and that's tomorrow. Tomorrow, I believe I will be going to Evensong on a Shoestring will be the first breakout session I go to, and then the second one, I believe, is Anglican Chant Experienced, is the one I signed up for. So tomorrow, at the end of the day, I'll do another stream like this and just kind of talk about the day, and just give some thoughts of some various things that I think you might be interested in. So, like I said, if you're in the chat or if you're watching this video after the fact, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you guys. This also drives up the the engagement, and this notifies people that this stream has happened, and they'll get notified for other streams. So please do that so that we can get more engagements on these videos and more views, so that people can get a sense of what's going on within the Ordinariate. Having said all that, I think I'm going to cut it here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.